there. I experienced the village failing me, like the aunties and stuff. When I was engaged to my husband, it was like, so New Year's Eve wedding. Naturally, everyone came in town for Christmas and just stayed through the wedding. One day I was out running around for the wedding. I invited my aunt to come with me. In the car, she wanted to have a serious conversation. And she literally said to me, "Do you think that this is your husband? Like, do you think, because sometimes I feel like it's being forced." That was the day in the car that I had to get her, like, actually put her in her place. A 50-plus woman who's single, who's had companionship, never been married, multiple kids, and you're telling me, do I think he's my husband? So,
but then I'm disrespectful if I ask you about yours.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm asking you about your situationships, your love triangle.
In my place.
Exactly. So again, I definitely agree where, it is a lot of the village that is lacking in the Black community, because we aren't setting these young girls up to actually understand what love is about and what to value in a relationship and what is considered toxic. Like, we aren't telling them the real game. We just telling them what to do,
or telling them what not to do,
or not telling them anything,
or not telling them anything.
Negative,
just
about
being nosy.
Life.
Right. Yes.
And guess what? It's nothing wrong when a relationship doesn't work out. Sometimes it's just the expiration date.
Yep.
And it's okay.
Or it's a pivot. It's a stepping stone to get you to the next level.
Right. We just have to stop being so negative about a relationship coming to an end.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And
sometimes
I think that's
the best.
Yes. Well, and that was a conversation. So I have nieces that are in college, and I'm like the big sister. I'm not necessarily like the aunt. I try not to be the aunt. But, two of my nieces, they grew up Muslim. They're still exploring their own faith, but they grew up Muslim. So they never dated. They were on a very restricted lifestyle. So now they're dating, and it's to the point where they don't know what to do, and they're in college and they're struggling. And I'm just trying to teach them, like, explore, be free, get to know people. It doesn't have to be so serious, because guess what? I need you to get your heart broken so that you can know what you don't want.
Look for, what the red flags
so it's
are.
like having that. If I would have had that, at an early age, and thank God I had a great example of what a relationship looks like and what it should be. But if a lot of my friends and a lot of my, people that I hang with, if we would have all had somebody to really put you on game and to guide you through this, you would not see as many single Black women out here.
Facts.
See, I didn't have a blueprint of marriage. My mom did not have the most successful marriages, because I think she's been married 3 times.
Your mama could get a husband, though. She could teach you class
let
on
me
that.
tell you, baby, but it wasn't the right one. I grew up watching my father beat my mother every day. Not once in a while, every day. My mom has a permanent limp because my father threw her out of a moving car and shut her foot in the door. Jeez. Like, I grew up, I didn't have the best examples. My mom also comes from a large family where there's 12 of her brothers and sisters. My father's, there's 15 of them. None of them have had successful marriages. So for me, I'm not going to ask someone who didn't have a successful marriage, what do I need to do to be successful? How are you going to give me advice? My mom will be the first to tell you, I didn't take vows that said through sickness and in health. When it came to sickness, my mom was out. She'd be the first to tell you. So it's like I wouldn't look towards my mom for marital advice. Like, I used great marriages that I thought were good, and I'll pick a little from here. I learned from you, don't commingle finances. I learned from you, keep things. And I would take different things from different marriages that I thought were great and long lasting and just kind of apply a little to how I walked into our marriage. But again, I said it from the beginning, we had no expectations, even in dating. I want you to show up who you are, as you are, each and every day. I'm not going to expect you to open the door for me or pull out a chore or be mannerable. I want you to show up how you are so I can make the decision if how you are is who I need in my life.
Right.
So I didn't
not
have
you
a
trying to be who I want you to
be.
be. Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's on us. It's our responsibility as women who are figuring this out, because we work in progress, okay? We all trying to figure it out day by day. Yep. But having these conversations, right? And so I'm challenging y'all, share this episode. Send it to a friend, okay? Even if you think it's going to hurt their feelings a little bit. Because this is the conversation that I feel like we always talk about for the culture. The conversations is what the culture needs. Mm-hmm. Not us trying to sweep everything under the rug, avoid everything. You know, it's like if we don't have these conversations, then when we grow up and are trying to figure it out on our own, we literally are operating at level 0, right? Absolutely. And the other communities, they're having these conversations. They're telling you what to look for. Even if we wouldn't necessarily be looking for the same things, they're at least putting it out there and giving you something to work with versus expecting you to just go figure it out. Because we're not doing that great of a job figuring it out on our own. Okay, so last piece of advice for the single women out there. A lot of the ladies who tune in are single women. They're just trying to figure it out. Like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do right? Where do I need to be? And I think we've given them a lot of good advice, but I just would like for you to share one last word. You got a single niece. You got a single homegirl. What's your advice for her from a happily married woman?
Advice in terms of...
She want a man. What she needs to do more of, less of?
Be true to yourself and who you are, what you want, and what you want out of out of a marriage. It'll work.
Be true.
Be authentic and be true.
The piece of advice I would give a single woman dating to marry is to be intentional about everything that you do. Whether it's like dating, like everything that you should do, it should be with purpose. So date with purpose. Don't just be out here vibing, because vibing is going to steer you left. You might luck up on something, but intentionality is really going to like set everything apart for you.
I would say be realistic and also get out the house.
Ooh, that's
I think
a good
so many
one.
people are expecting this perfect guy to just show up. Get out the house. Go to the grocery store. Go to the lounge. Mingle. Go to the birthday party. Stop sitting in the house with your bonnet on. And I'm just saying, you gotta get out the house and meet people. It's just that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna piggyback off. You said be realistic. I'm gonna say be optimistic, because I think so many women, and I'm talking to my black women, so many of us have such a negative expectation, or we think all the good men are taken, all the straight men are taken, it ain't no good ones left. And when you are operating with that pessimistic expectation, that's all you are going to attract. So be optimistic, be realistic, but know that if you don't just spend your time praying for the thing, but if you spend your time preparing for the thing, you can absolutely attract and manifest the man of your dreams.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
This was good.
Girl,
Thank you.
Stop playing. Peace. Comment below and let me know what you want to see on the next video. Peace out.